Woo! It looks like I am live. Boy, I hope I'm live. I know I had all kinds of difficulties. Well, not really difficulties, but the microphone in and out, jacking around, hot micing, fading in, fading out. But Pooch has been working on it. Pretty knows how it is when Pooch works on something, but I hope this is sounding good. A-OK, good audio, good video. Somebody give me a thumbs up and tell me how it's going here. So anyway, I'm sure all y'all can see Pooch is sitting here running solo. I should have changed it to Pooch, but it's still Pretty and Pooch show. My little Pretty's in there feeling a little bit under the weather. Looks and sounds good, thank you. But Pretty is a little bit under the weather. I think it was Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday. I saw Pretty that morning because we went to church and everything. And then my dad's had our family Christmas birthday dinners because there's been a lot going on this past year. We didn't get to actually have our normal birthday dinners that we have. And here it is Christmas time. So they figured we'd have our Christmas and birthday dinners at once, which is quite all right. You got to figure. My dad's been doing a lot of dermatology stuff, surgeries, and getting carved on. And then my stepmother, my Walita, that's what we call her. She's my stepmother, but we call her Walita. She actually had breast cancer. Luckily, they caught it early enough, been through the biopsies and the treatments and all, so she's clear and she's on the treatment path trying to get through that. But my poor Pretty, she lost her voice. She's getting better, but it's still a little bit I like to say horsey, but it ain't horsey. I guess it could be more along the lines, just a little bit more sassy, the way it sounds. But my poor Pretty's been ailing. So y'all give her a thumbs up, heads up, get well soon, feel better, say your prayers for her so she can recover and return. And let me tell you, she's still been going to work and she's still been getting onto them kids. So she's got it in her. But she's my poor Pretty, and she just couldn't quite cover tonight. And that's quite all right. Pooch will run solo. There ain't no telling. That's what I told her when she let me know, which I didn't count on her too much trying to get in on tonight's show because she is a little horsey. But I said, that's okay, baby. You go right on ahead and you watch. And you throw your comments in there if you need to. Just because you're over there in the house and I'm out here in the shop, you can get your point across real quick. But I see some folks in here. Let me go scrolling up to the top. Now, I might not be able to watch them all because Pooch don't pay that close attention to this thing, but he does. And I want to acknowledge all you folks that are in here. So, Elaine, welcome to my kitchen. Thank you, ma'am, for always being in here when you can and taking care of the moderating. Back Road Freedom. I see you, sir. Justin, Treasure Hunter. Howdy, sir. The Vineyard Farmhouse. There's my good buddy, Brian. And while I'm thinking of Brian and the Vineyard Farmhouse, next Wednesday, which will be the 21st, Pretty is going to be his co-host on his show. So y'all keep that in mind and be sure and join Brian on the Vineyard Farmhouse December 21st at 9 p.m. Central. So y'all can be sure and check Pretty out with him because she'll be there. And she'll probably keep Brian in check too, actually. Linda Peterson, Welcome in, ma'am. Old Man King Homestead, Peter. Howdy, sir. See, Treasure Hunter, Linda, Gary Team, Casho, Australia. Welcome in. Nice to see you folks in here from the land of Oz. Treasure Hunter, Elaine. I see I got there's Piggy. Yes, sir. Glad Piggy's in the house, too. He can kind of help keep the upper hand on things. Don't mess with Piggy, because Piggy's got my back like I got his. And John Wiggs, howdy, sir. Welcome in here. Going on down the line here. Pure Okie. Howdy. Welcome in here. Going on down a little bit further. Pure Okie. Back Road Freedom. Not sure. May not have had all the comments, but I see 18 folk in here. And I don't know if I hollered out 18 folk. But anyway, again, pretty sick. So Pooch is running solo. And let me get over here. Of course, y'all know Pooch has got to have his cold snack too. Let me get it. Boy, Pretty was out here, I'd be like, what the Sam hell is that? But tonight's flavor, being it's getting close, and it is holiday. We got to get that holiday cheer going on. Y'all pay attention, because it's a Pooch fave. Shiner holiday cheer. And yes, sir, it brings in the holiday cheer, that's for sure. That's my backup over there. I got a couple of them here, so there we go. Keep that one cold in case if I need that one. Let me get a swig. Cheers, Justin. I know you're probably sipping on one too. There's Pretty. No judgment here. Yep, she is. She is so sad. Well, y'all can read all of that, but my poor baby, hopefully she's getting better. But yeah, been one heck. Of course, y'all know it's getting to the end of the year, end of the month, end of the year. And for me, that is always a hard, well, not a hard time, but a busy time for Pooch, especially being the end of the month and I had to get out of that jacket. Trading paint. Let's trade paint. Welcome. Had to get out of that thing. But so busy with work, year-end stuff, monthly stuff, end of the year-end stuff, yearly stuff. Got to get ready. And I'll tell you what, I hope some of you other folks have got your shopping done. But I don't know why. Pretty and Pooch, we hadn't got a dadgum thing done. I mean to tell you. Usually, well, I'm the type anyway, I'm going to order and buy online and get it shipped. But I'm leaning more towards just getting gift cards and handing them out. That'd be so easy. I ain't got to go fight and fuss with the crowds and all of that. So that's kind of the route I might be going. I got an idea of a few gifts. Well, the good thing is, too, me and Sonny, my son, Tristan, him and I have already exchanged gifts. And we did a good thing because he needed something. And, of course, he built his own computer. He built his own gaming computer, which I thought was awesome. And he did an excellent, I'd say, a badass job on building that thing. And let me tell you, he built a high-powered gaming computer for the fraction of the cost and way better as if you would have went and bought one pre-built in one of these big box stores. And he ordered every single part, got it all in. I sat in there and watched him build it. Well, when he got that thing built, I was kind of talking to him and asking, and he said he needed, he'd like to get a good gaming screen monitor to go with that thing. So I told him, don't worry about it. Pooch has got it. I got that for him. And he as well. And this was already planned out before that, kind of. But he has and had a top-of-the-line gaming laptop, which is loaded and a very powerful laptop at that he was using prior. And this thing is top of the line. But he told his mama before I knew, but he told his mama that he was going to give it to me. And he was going to give it to me as a Christmas gift. So, being as that was done, and being that he got that computer built, I went ahead and got that monitor for him. And so, there ain't no way that boy wanted to wait for that monitor till Christmas, because he'd still be sitting in there working and playing on that other one. But he had other uses for the other one too. Just kind of like Pooch, with all this stuff that he acquires and gets and brings up and thinks he needs and whatnot. But we exchanged early. He got his monitor and he handed over that laptop. Now, granted, I've been slowly working it into and getting it fixed up to where I can use it. I'm still using one that I have, a desktop. I did pull the other laptop out because it was more for work business anyway, but Pretty's got control of that one now, and that was fairly new. But I'm gonna be getting this one going soon. So, but to get back to the scenario, Sonny and Pooch have already exchanged gifts. So, and baby, I'm glad you're in here. Please reply, respond, and Elaine, whoever, and take care of my folks out there. All moderating, take care of them, share them, whatever needs to be done. But yes, so I've got this thing over here that I'm slowly working on and slowly adding stuff, because Pooch, he ain't the biggest channel, and he's working on and he's trying to grow it, especially with Pretty that's come along in with me, Pretty and Pooch. But Pooch has been acquiring stuff, and Pooch is trying to go big time. Big time with a dang near zero amount of followers. But you know what? You got to use your head and you got to want to. And a lot of us out there, we do want to. But you just got to keep getting after it. Lindsay Scott, welcome in. And that's what Pooch is trying to do. He's trying to figure. He's trying to find his way. He's trying to get through this. That's all he's trying to do. So, but yeah, that's the scenario. But Pooch is trying to figure out a way, and he's one of those that wants to grow, and he wants to grow organically and on his own. So I got some thoughts running up here. You're big time in my book, Pooch. Well, thank you, Drews Lynn. Sir, you're big time, and I definitely love what you do because you've got it going on. And Pooch started this channel just kind of on a whim, and it's gotten to where it is now, basically just on Pooch steadily cracking at it. And I don't go at it full bore because I do work full time, but I do try to put out there. I do a lot of lives, and it's crazy because I do t-shirts on the side, and people like watching that stuff. But that, I don't know that that's really what I want to be known for out here on this thing. Yeah, I like to use it, do it, and show it, and put it out there. But Pooch likes to do other stuff too. Pooch ain't had a lot of time to do that stuff. But it is what it is. But man, I could see Pretty and Pooch having a podcast. And that's kind of the way that I want to go. I want to go have a podcast. And I'm going to tell you, I've been watching Danielle and Jason Crocker with what they're doing. And I sure as heck, I hope they're watching too. I don't know that they are, and I doubt they are. But I like the way they're doing their podcast. And when Pooch all of a sudden gets his going, I sure as heck don't hope that they start saying, Pooch, you copying us. No, I ain't copying you. I'm watching and learning. That's what Pooch is doing. He's definitely watching, and he's definitely trying to learn, and he likes what they do. Pooch ain't ever been a big podcast listener, but I could listen. There's a few out there that I've slowly, because I don't know, I've just never sat and listened to podcasts. But I find it more easy because you can't sit and watch everything, but I do find it more easy to sit and listen and watch. 12 Stones, there's Byron. Welcome in, sir. But I would definitely love to get geared up towards a podcast type Wednesday night lives, whatever. But I would definitely like to get to that. So I got stuff over there that I'm looking to rip and tear out of here because I want to build a backdrop and a back scene and a setup. And Pretty's probably thinking, we don't need all that crap. She's probably right. But Pooch thinks he needs it, and Pooch wants it so he can somewhat look somewhat kind of professional, even though he ain't. But he wants it to look good, and he wants it to be attractive to folks, and he wants to be able to put it out there and have a nice backdrop scene and all that stuff. And I priced some of this equipment, and I'm like, good Lord. Like mixers and microphones, and now I've got my share of that stuff. I've got the wireless stuff and all that, but now I'm starting to think, well, I need to have one of them big microphones and a boom mic that sets up in my face so I can bend it around, and I ain't too crazy on all the noise making happenings and stuff, all that, but that's part of those mixing boards. And those mixing boards aren't cheap. The good thing is my sonny's got one in there, and he's got one of the best ones you could have in the road, and he's offered up to let us use it. But I don't like to use other people's stuff. I mean, yeah, it's nice and thoughtful that they offer it, but I just do not like to use other people's stuff because I want to be able to have it myself. And that way, if I break it, I only hurt myself. I ain't hurting nobody else. But I may give Sonny's a try one day just to see what it's like. But I do need to get a hold of some microphones and all that. But I do have the wireless kind and all. So I probably got more than enough than I need around here. And Byron, 12 Stones Ranch, was out here not too long ago. And he saw one of the cameras I have. And I haven't used it. But he goes, why ain't you using that thing? That's a good camera. And it's more along because I just don't quite know how to fully use it. Now, it's a good Sony camera, A6500. I just don't know how to use it all that well. Yeah, I could use it, but it probably wouldn't look all that great. But I'll get there. I'll definitely get there, and I'm studying on it and all that. I'd rather have a camera like the other ones I've got, where I can just plug them in, turn them on, and use them. And minimal knowledge on how to set it up and make it work. And I've used one prior as a webcam with a webcam, but whoops. I wonder if that made a bunch of racket because I just bumped the microphone. But I have used the other cameras as a web type live cam, easy set up and go. So I may resort to back to that because I did go to the webcam a Brio because I thought I needed it, and I probably didn't, but it did. It does look better. I was able to set it up on the monitor rather than have a camera because Pooch's area, it's got all kinds of stuff going on right here, and a lot of it's just in the freaking way. And when Pooch gets agitated, he wants to take his arm and slide it across the table and slide all that crap off, but then I mess stuff up. Pooch is a little impatient and a little intolerable of his own messes most of the time that he makes. At least I own up to it because I know in my past, I didn't want to own up. Where's my Pretty at? And she'll vouch for that. Pooch didn't like to own up to his own rigmarole and whatnot. Come on, Pretty. Let them know that I'm speaking the truth. Oh, did I miss Oak? Let's see here. I'm going to scroll back a little bit. Hey, Pooch. Howdy, Oak. Carrie, welcome in. Heather Lanscombe, if I missed you, welcome in. I'm just scrolling back a little bit because Pooch has been running his mouth and seeing what's going on. But, yep, glad Happy Oak's in here. I need another swig because I about dried my mouth out. That's some good stuff. But, yeah. I'm going to attempt to build me a backdrop and a back scene scenario and some of the shelving that we have in here. And I know you folks probably hadn't seen too much in here, but this little shop that we've got here. Oh, and I know you can't tell that, but all my LED lights took a crap around here. And I know y'all probably been watching the news. 2 old people on the couch, welcome in. But I know y'all probably been watching the news with all the weather down here in Texas. Well, luckily, the area we're in, we were missed by all those tornadoes and whatnot. But we usually get the rain and the wind. And I can't say that we didn't get that much wind, because when it's windy out here, usually our big porch out on the shop where all of our patio furniture and all that, when that wind comes through, it'll blow it clean off and down out in the pasture. But it didn't. Everything set put, stayed where it is. But I do know we had a little bit of wind, and I do know we had some lightning and thunder, because I left out early the other morning to beat that and hauled butt out of here and had that storm trailing me from behind. I got to where I needed to be. That's pretty bad. And most of that damage was done to the north of us, to the northeast of us, and out to the east of us. River Oaks, Grapevine, and out a little further east. But it sure tore some stuff up, and I'm glad it wasn't us that got tore up. But I think we had a pretty good bolt of lightning, because I could tell our power got jarred. Everything was back on, but my LEDs aren't on. And I don't know if the little transformer up there got fried out or what, but you know, I guess I'll have to replace that one day if I want to have the little LED blue light, strip lights. But I do got my little puck lights back there. I'm trying to look a little Christmas. And I bet next week I'm probably going to have a little Christmas tree setting up on there so I can show my Christmas glee. And that brings me something else. Maybe y'all saw Pretty's little short on Pooch putting up the deer out in the yard. Pretty wanted those things up. I got them out, put them up, and it was a little bit windy that day. And I get them set up, and they just kept getting blowed over in the wind. I'm like, well, I ain't having that, because they'll wind up blowed over and scattered all over the place, and I'm not going to go out there daily and try to straighten them up. So I went into the shop, and I got some big 3.5 foot industrial type zip ties, big daddies. So I strapped them things to the tree. That way they ain't going nowhere. But I got them all plugged up, hooked up and everything. Half the lights are out on them. Then I started thinking, I'm not going to start going through these little lights trying to figure out which one's bad to make all of them come on. But anyway, Pretty come out there and saw all that mess and all that rigging, and she thought, good Lord, that looks like crap. I said, well, they ain't going nowhere, and they're standing up, and they're tied up to the tree. But she gave me the okay after that, because I was trying to convince her we didn't need them things, and they needed to go. Not only do they need to go, but they're so big to try to store. Sit out there and take up all that room in the shop or wherever we put them. But they're just big, because they're pretty good size. But once Christmas is over, the evening of December 25th, them babies are getting hauled off to the dumpster. We ain't storing them no more. But I know you saw me put the tree up and might have seen part of the front porch. Now I could tell you, Pretty's decorated the tree. Pretty's got the inside of the house decorated. Our patio front porch is decorated with the tree and the lights and all that good. I just hadn't filmed any of it because I was intending on filming it, but it's been pretty hectic around here. We've been getting after it. Pretty's been busy with work and everything that could go on. I've been busy, so we just hadn't filmed any of it. I wanted to, but I didn't. But I'll try to run the camera across some of it later. That way, y'all can get a look at how Pretty and Pooch decorated their surroundings. And I ain't trying to be a Scrooge, but Pooch, I could do without it. It's nice and it's pretty and it's joyful and glee, but just something more added to Pooch having to do something. When Pooch gets off work and home, he just wants to kick back. Even though I got plenty of other things I could do, Pooch still wants to kick back. Man, don't ever get to kick back. Dang it. Another swig here. And we had some other bad news this week. Our deeply loved sister-in-law, Dolly, Sunday evening, her father passed away. And, you know, that poor family has had a lot to deal with this past year. I know Dolly is taking care of him, worked, taking care of her mother and father. She has a sister. But good old Dolls has just worked her butt off for her family. And it's what any of us would do for our families. But unfortunately, her father, 82, 86, 80, 86, I believe, unfortunately passed away this past Sunday evening. So I hope you folks say a prayer for the Dolly Mondo. We'll be going out of town this weekend to go to his services. But yeah, it's just a heartbreaking thing when you lose your family, especially when it's your parents. Let's see, Kickapoo. But yeah, I hope you folks remember her in prayers. Remember all of us folks out there that are hurting and in need for whatever reason, because Christmas is a time for caring. That's for sure. Susie Jacobson, if I did miss you, welcome in, ma'am. Trying to make sure I haven't missed nobody else because Pooch has been rambling on for sure. Heather, oh, I guess baby got back in here. She probably went and put her easy clothes on because she was stretched out on the divan when I came out here. And Elaine, I sent you an email a little bit ago. I don't know if you caught it or not, but I did send you a little email just so you know. It's just asking you a question. But we're all good. If it's not, we're all good. We'll be quite all right. But back to, I done lost track other than speaking of my dolls. I'm kind of going to jump track back over here to me trying to put together something. Oh, Kickapoo Crafty will get a kick out of this because I've been waiting to do this and I finally broke down, LaDonna, and I got, let me get over here and get it. I got me something that I've been itching to try, and I'm waiting on another portion of it, so. Y'all know we do a lot of printing of all kinds of stuff around here, sublimating and whatnot. But I've been wanting to sublimate on some of these. License plate. So LaDonna, Kickapoo Crafty, I'm going to be making something. I'm going to print something and I'm going to sublimate it on this thing. And we're going to see how that works. I think that'll be kind of cool. And I've even gotten the 8x12 metal tin signs that I'm going to try to sublimate on too. I'm going to be using these as part of our backdrop for Pretty and Pooch, actually. That's my intention. So, but I'm excited to even try this. You know, I'll use that press or this one right behind me here, and I will be printing off that sublimation printer, coming up with a picture or design or whatever, and I'm going to make me my own signs. That ought to be cool, and I'm anxious to try it. That'll be a good deal, let me tell you. And not only that, Pretty will probably, uh-oh, I actually see somebody in here right quick, and I'll be right with you. But Pretty and I do vinyl. So, Kickapoo, if you're still watching, look what Pooch got. That's a tabletop LED backlit to when I be doing that weeding. That will be awesome and pretty. There you go. I was waiting to get that thing and give it a try. I hope y'all could have even heard me because I was away from this microphone. But let me bring a guest in here. A very special guest, and let's get her in here. Y'all all know. Howdy, Elaine. Wow, I can't hear you, but is it me? Can you hear me? What's going on here? Make sure I'm all good.
I was muted. Sorry, it was my fault.
Hold on a second, Elaine. Let me make sure I got everything set up right here because I don't know why I can't hear you.
Yeah, I was muted. Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you, ma'am. Hold on. Everything is good. Everything's good. Everything's good. Looks like I don't know what is the deal. That is weird. Somebody's texting too, but I hate to put you on.
Okay.
What in the world? Display, Elaine. Can you other folks hear her? Y'all can hear her, but I can't. Well, I don't have my. I do not. Oh, hold on. I know what it is. I'm still trying to get used to this stuff. Audio, speakers. How about now?
Can you hear me now?
Now I got it.
Now you got it. Okay.
Yep. I hear Piggy.
Y'all know who that was.
Yep. Every time I change something on here, it's just the way I have this set up. My speakers kind of go back to another setting. I guess I need to make a note and start checking it every time before we go in there.
You're just being mean. Now he got Charlie going.
Hey, if my dogs were out here, they'd be getting after it too. But yes, I'm so glad you caught that email because Pretty wasn't feeling too well, and I thought, well, you know what? And this was like 10 minutes before my show come on. I thought I'll just email Elaine, maybe she'll see it and want to come in. So you're probably like me and don't check the emails all the time.
I check them every now and then, but I've been working on my special project, which if anybody is on my Facebook page, they probably saw my notice today that I posted. I am working on my cookbook, y'all, for my signature dishes.
Sweet.
Yes. And I am hoping to have it ready for publish or to be able to have it printed out by January the 20th.
Wow. So, and how many dishes are you going to have in that cookbook?
There's 13 signature dishes.
Mm-hmm.
And I am up to Avid putting his information in. So after Avid, we have Miss Rita, Mr. Duggar, and I know LG Bass, and it's all mine for me to get them put in.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the 4 I have left after Avid.
Wow. But you've been busy then.
I started it last night, working on it.
Whoa.
And
a lot of work.
Yeah, it's going to be a good 50-something pages in a cookbook.
Awesome.
It's more than just recipes. It's I'm putting stories in it. It's like each person that I did the dish for is going to have their own little section. Like with yours, I've got a story on the dish and on you, what I know about you and things like that. Then I have a title page and then your recipe.
Nice.
So it's going to it's a little booklet within a book, basically, for each signature dish. And they're in order of when I did them. Nice. And then I have my own story in there about why I started or how I started my YouTube channel and came up with the name and things like that. And if anybody is interested in seeing what Piggy looks like and doesn't know what Piggy looks like, you might get a sneak peek of a picture of him in that book. So that'd be worth the money.
That'll be well. So you're hoping to have them published by January 20th?
I will have them ready to be published by January the 20th. I'm going to get 2 initially, one for me and one for someone else.
I want one.
Okay, and if anybody wants,
I'll buy it. If I need to. I will buy it.
Yeah. I just need everybody that wants one to let me know in some shape or form that they are willing to buy it, because if I can get a large enough order in, I can go ahead and hopefully get the first prints in by the 20th and have them shipped out maybe by the end of the month. Okay. I'm not sure yet exactly how much it's going to cost, but as in everything, if you buy one thing, it costs more when you buy one than when you buy a 10 or 12 or whatever.
Exactly. So I guess you found somebody in a way to publish and put it out, or
It
get
is
it
a
printed.
it's a site online. It is called. Let me see what it's called. Get out of that right there, so I can do this. I'm trying to think and find the name of it. All I have to do is get into the book, and I can read the name on the inside. I said I could. It's called Create My Cookbook. It's a website.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And they have no minimum orders. I can order one cookbook or I can order multiple. All the other sites that I have looked at, you have to order a minimum of 15 or 20 cookbooks. And this one, I can order one cookbook if that's all I want and go from there. And then I can have more printed at a later time.
Gotcha.
And that was my initial goal, is to have one or two to show what it looks like. And then if anybody wants one, I can then go and order.
Well, I'll definitely take one. So be sure to remember that. And I'm sure the more that you up front buy, the cheaper the cost is anyway. But
oh yeah,
because boy, things are crazy nowadays.
They are.
And price wise, and we've gone through that with us doing shirts and whatever we're doing. And a lot of times, a lot of the stuff's out of stock and you have to sit and wait. And I always try to tell people that we deal with, if you know what you want, you know when you're going to want it, give it to me as soon as you know. And it may be a month or two out, but please give it to me. It gives me a chance to get it, because I fought really hard and didn't think I was going to make a couple orders just past couple weeks because stuff wasn't available.
Yeah, if you can't find it, I mean, and that's even with doing YouTube. If you can't find the ingredients to cook with, how are you gonna make a cooking video?
Right.
That's my thing right there. But it is. I understand when you can't find the product to do the job, you can't get it done.
Nope. And that's with multiple sources too. So, and of course, amongst those multiple sources, each source has different pricing. And I might pay $4 for shirts at one place, and another place wants $6.50 per shirt. Same dang shirt too. So I'm just like, good gosh almighty. But I tried, and I did manage to get my stuff done. So, it was a close one. Pooch don't like to disappoint, but sometimes he thinks I may have to throw in the towel.
Well, Linda told me, she said order 250 of the cookbooks. The whole point on that is that I have to figure out how much it's going to cost and make sure I have the money to order, because as we all know, you have to have money.
Yep.
To purchase.
That's right. Well, I'll definitely be wanting one of those, because I'll make my signature dish from Elaine, her Elaine, and I'll do it her way.
And that's the thing, because as I'm going through, I'm seeing, like when I typed up, I love this little program because it highlights any mistakes I've made in writing where I don't catch them. Like, you know how sometimes you get to typing real quick and you'll put TEH instead of THE, and you never notice it. This little program notices it every time. It turns blue.
And you'll be able to add the pictures and all captions, I guess, with it.
Oh, yeah, it's got the pictures in it. A couple of the dishes, one only has one page for the recipe because it's a short recipe. So I put something else, like it's like a little measuring chart, conversion chart for measuring things. I put that in there, and then others that have that, I might have I put pages where you can write your own recipes on there, or take notes, and put a few pictures in there on a couple of the other pages, and then for every title page I have the picture of the dish and how it looked when I did it.
Yeah, that's cool right there. And I see another signature dish you could probably do later on with John Wiggs if you hadn't seen it yet.
Where's my smoked ham signature dish? That'll probably be next year, John. I just finished up this year's and getting the everything done. And I'll be honest, I have not even got a list for next year on signature dishes. I do not know who to make anything for next year.
Wow.
And January's coming up, and I have nobody to think, in my mind to make one for January yet. And
and they're out there. It's just a matter of making that mind connect on one and get it, because that's like me with videos. I always think I don't have nothing to do, but yet I have something probably all the time if I would just think about it, and I don't. But
yeah, well, the thing about it is, I'm not just going to arbitrarily do a dish for someone.
Right.
I like to ask. I like their permission, because some people might not want me to do a dish.
And I also know the meanings behind your dish, because those people are special people, and you like to do it that way.
Yeah, it to me, the dish is it's something either I would cook for you myself, or it's how I perceive someone as, how I would perceive them as a dish. So to me, these signature dishes are extremely special, and I give credit where credit is due. It was Gary at Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors who gave me the idea to do the signature dishes. So on my dedication page, along with everyone I've done the dishes for, I do have Gary on my dedication page, simply because he is the one that gave me the idea for it. And, I have to thank him for that. Yeah. And it's a case of, if anybody would like for me to do a dish for them, please contact me. Let me know. Say, hey, would you do a signature dish for me? I'll go from there, because, Miss Rita was joking with me about hers. And I was wanting to do one for her. And she was joking. I'm like, yes, in a heartbeat, I will do one. And, and it's like, I said I didn't have any ideas for anyone doing. I actually do have an idea for someone I want to do one for next year. It's just I haven't thought of what I want to do for them. And that is Tish. I did yours. And I want to do Tish.
Oh, sweet.
So,
well, you did mine right. That's for sure.
So, it's kind of a case of knowing what she likes and things like that. So I'm coming up with things, and I definitely got to work on that. But I want to get through with this book first, and then I've got a couple other things I'm doing. I'm working on a Christmas special for Christmas Eve. I'm not going live Christmas Eve. I'm going to put up a premiere video. I'm taking Christmas music from the YouTube library and putting it all together and putting it with lyrics. I'm the ones that I don't have the lyrics to. I'm looking up the lyrics and putting them in and putting it all together. And it might only be about a 25-minute video or so, but I'm going to do that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And welcome in, MT Homestead. You folks will be following. They will be following me here shortly on their live Wednesday night family night. So be sure and go over there and tell them Pooch sent you. And just speaking of Gary over at Jailbait, have you heard or been in contact with him any lately?
I haven't. He was in my live Saturday night.
Okay.
And he asked Tish a question, and she answered it, and then I haven't seen anything from him since. Haven't heard anything from him, and I haven't seen any videos from him. So I was concerned. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was looking up obituaries in his area to see if something had happened to him, because I have not heard anything from him, seen anything from him, nothing.
Yeah. Well, the last I heard watching, I think he's probably working, of course, and of course we know the situation he's in up there in Florida, but I hope he's doing okay and well. And you're live. I don't know what, I think I was driving during your live, so I was getting to listen while Pretty was over there typing and commenting and everything. So, but yeah, I'm just wondering about Gary too. So usually
and Brian, I saw your comment. Yeah, sorry, but like I said, it shocked me when I saw him, because I had been looking at his videos and I saw he hadn't posted in like 9 or 10 days, and I was like, that really concerned me, because I'm used to him posting at least once a day, if not 2 or 3 times a day. Yeah, and so.
Well, I hope he's okay. Maybe he'll post up something, and I should email him just to see maybe if he catches that. Pretty's saying she hasn't heard from him since either. So, Well, I know Elaine, Pretty, and I have even been trying to plan a little bit for next year. And I know I've told y'all that Pooch might show up on y'all's door one day. And I would really look forward and plan on doing that. So I know we text back and forth and sometimes chat and talk. And of course, I'm just not going to show up. But you'll know I'm coming. But that is a plan of Pretty and Pooch this coming year. So
cool.
I can't wait to come up there to where you folks are. I was going to pop off and say, but I won't do that. But anyway, that y'all should expect us sometime this coming year. So
we look forward to it.
That would be fun, and I look forward to it. Yep. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Tish is saying we're seriously considering. Oh, yeah. We sure are. But, yeah, I'm glad you were able to come up in here with me for sure, because Pretty was kind of not feeling it. And I thought she's got to get well because she's got a lot coming up. And she's still been – actually, Pretty's going to be off after this week, I think. So she's going to have 3 weeks off, and lucky. But she's got a couple events she's going to be hosting and actually speaking at. So her voice has got to come back. So wasn't no big thing if she didn't come out here with me tonight. So that's okay. I told her I can handle it. And so she's in there watching, monitoring, or moderating, actually. And Piggy's been pretty quiet back there. He ain't asleep in that recliner, is he?
No. He's over there typing something. I don't know if he's in chat here or in chat at Mike's, or if he's talking to Sandy.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I figured he was awful quiet because Piggy's usually got something to say.
Yeah, well,
in the background or whatever.
Good Lord's got him doing what he's got him doing. He's doing his thing, talking.
Well, I sure appreciate Piggy. I appreciate his words and all. So I appreciate both of y'all very much. And
we thank all of y'all too.
It's always good to hear Piggy and whatever wisdom he wants to share, speak. And I know his heart's of gold. Both of y'all's is. So it's always good to hear him, whether it be in the background or whatever.
I don't know if our words were words of wisdom on his last video. We were talking about pet peeves, but
we talk about bad drivers don't know what to do on the road.
Yeah.
Hey, well, you saw my comment, Piggy, and I meant it.
I loved your comment.
I loved your comment.
And I always let Tish know that. And I don't know if Tish has seen it, but she knows I'll dang sure do it. I'll throw it in park and set through the next 2 or 3 light cycles. Just let them know you ain't bothering me. But I know I'm all up in your business right now.
I also know that there are drivers I won't tangle with because, and that's simply because I know they are far more professional than I am. You know, like you truckers.
Yeah,
I will not tangle with somebody who is currently or has been a trucker. Because I can't hang with y'all.
Well, Pooch drove over the road and tractor trailers for what, 8, 9 years? So been there, done that.
Hi, Corey and Cynthia.
So that should tell you something.
I love Tish's eye roll.
What?
Tish did the eye roll emoji.
Oh.
Yep, I see you, Corey and Cynthia.
As far as wisdom, I'll tell you like this. This is what I tell anybody that thanks me for wisdom. If knowledge or wisdom you find in my words, thank God, not me, for I'm neither smart nor wise. Only God is.
Yep. Amen. And that's right. But let me tell you, Piggy, you speak some very wise words. And obviously you're a very wise man who's absorbed those words. And not only absorb, but you believe them. So,
yeah,
that's good. That is good.
Well, I've been dead and been there, so I know it's true.
Yep.
Yep. Well, you know, a lot of folks in the world have probably never had or experienced half that stuff, and probably have never even had anybody even witness to them. But I think if they sat back and listened, and if folks were out there that did witness to them, and I think they would take on a new meaning of life and what it is to be a Christian. That's for sure. For sure.
We was at Tractor Supply one day, and there was a woman getting out of her vehicle as I was going to mine. She's an older woman. We talked about stuff, and aches and pains and age and all like that came up. And I told her, I said, well, I can tell you, I've been dead. I've been there. I've experienced the unspeakable love, joy, and peace of God's presence. Now, I can tell you for a fact, there ain't nothing you can go through here that's anything to worry about, because that experience, even for those few little while, was worth anything I have to go through here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's true. And I see Kickapoo says she'd love to hear that story sometime, Piggy. And
she might be hearing it soon.
Yeah. And Rick Galanucci, howdy. I'm just saying, sorry, Piggy. And Corey and Cynthia, howdy. And while I've got the opportunity, again, for you folks, next Wednesday, December 21st, Pretty will be co-hosting with the Vineyard Farmhouse over on with Brian at the Vineyard Farmhouse. So y'all be sure and go follow him as well. He'll be on live tonight at 9 p.m. So after MT Homestead, which will be coming up shortly, right behind Pooch.
Kickapoo, that is my oldest cat. I call her old woman sometimes, but her name is Little Bit. We've had her 9 years at the end of this month. She came to us during the really cold winter of 2013, 2014, and she had been thrown out. She was starving. And she was about 2 months old. And she was chewing on sticks and anything else she could find to see if it was edible. And Piggy took some food out to her and fed her. And she was just chowing down on it. And he could hear her thanking God for the food as she was chowing down. And
I could hear the words.
He could hear the words. And so we weren't going to bring her in the house because we had another cat at the time. And it was supposed to get down to single digits and below 0. So she fought for so long to get in the house. We opened the door for her. And she kind of stood back and looked like, all right, what's going on? Came inside. She didn't go out for 3 months.
Oh, wow.
She found food, she found water, she found warmth, and a good place to lay. So she stayed inside, and she
found love.
She found love.
That's right.
I'm here to tell you, when God let me hear the words in her mulings as she ate, you talk about being broke down like a shotgun.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I would do the same, because Pretty and I both are the same. We see animals that get dumped and left out here along the roads or wherever, and you can tell they've been on the road for weeks, months, because their poor little old ribs are showing, and they're just looking for water, food, or anything, and just breaks our heart. And if they wander up here, they're going to get food, and if they decide to stay, they can stay. But most of the time, unfortunately, I guess they just keep on rambling, but
looking for home, looking for family.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Yeah, it is sad. We have a cat I haven't seen it in a while, but we have a barn cat out here that hangs around out here. And I can tell, I've never fed her, but she's healthy. So she's doing her job. But I haven't seen her in a little bit. I don't know if she's moved on or what, but that's about the only kitty cat that I would take is one that hangs around in the barn. I have 2 dogs in the house. And I'd like to have another dog, but I want a big dog that would be an outside dog.
Right.
But I already know, Pretty and I both, well, it's cold or it's hot, they need to come in. So
yeah. Well, this one, like I said, her name's Little Bit, and she is the smallest of all of the cats, and she is the only one I won't let them fight with, unless if she pops them to settle them down. That's fine. But they're not going to gang up on her because she's the old lady of the bunch, and she has earned her right to be comfortable. So the little ones, I'll pop them, and no, you don't mess with her. No, she's special. She went off. She got hurt a while back, and she was gone for 4 days. She's never gone for 4 days.
Yeah.
And I just knew something that got a hold of her. And I know people probably think I'm wrong for letting the cats outside, but they are outside cats. They have spent the majority of their lives out there. They hunt. And I'm not going to sit there and listen to them all day long. That drives me crazy. So I'll let them out.
Right.
And pray that they get to come back home. And unfortunately, we've lost 2. Well, we've lost 3. But we've gained 1 in the process. And it's a case of they're my babies. And I really.
For sure. They are the babies. Simply Jan, welcome in, ma'am.
Hi, Simply Jan.
Yeah. I don't know what we do. You know, we always sit back and think and tease and talk about our 2 dogs, but our 2 dogs, neither one could do without the other. That's for sure. They were brought in separate times, but now that they're together, because, you know, we sit and think if we didn't have the other dog, one would be here and alone by himself. Whereas the other one is a rescue. So who knows what her future might be. But since we brought her in here, they're inseparable. And if they are separated, they're both worried about where's that other dog at. But yeah, it's good to have a companion, whether it be pet companions, and the pet themselves need a companion. So
that's it.
That is it.
And mine have plenty of companions. We've got the doggy and the 8 kitty cats. I think it is now 8 kitty cats. So there's always constantly a kitty cat around Charlie, so he has company. That doesn't. That's not mom and daddy. He likes mommy daddy.
Yeah.
But he's
that's the way little E is, a little dog, because she's I don't call her my dog, but Pretty says that's daddy's dog and she does. It's like she cannot wait till I get home. And she runs, she jumps up in my arms, she has to be held, runs around me in circles, yiping and yelping. Mister,
you're her person. Yeah.
Yep. Mister comes out too. He comes and looks at me and it just keeps on going. But E stays and looks at me and gets love. Yeah. Kickapoo, at least you have decent weather. Maybe I'd time them to go out. Animals weren't meant to be caged. That's true. Oh, speaking of caged, because we have a dog down the road that for some odd reason it's in a 8x10 dog run kennel. That dog has lived in there for the past 4 or 5 years or 3 years that we have to look at every time we drive by that. And that's through heavy rains, heavy storms, summer, winter, the ice,
back roads.
And that it just breaks our heart to see that dog sitting out. And and it's a medium-sized dog. It's no small dog, but I know there's several times Pretty and I have drove by when we thought we're going to go up there and get that dog and bring him home and let him have all this area to run in compared to being stuck in a little 8x10 kennel cage. Just ain't right. Just isn't right. Back Road Freedom. Have a good night. Oh, yeah, I guess probably need to watch the time because I know
we're down to 2 minutes.
Yep, MT Homestead's coming up next. And the Vineyard Farmhouse will be following up MT Homestead at 9 with Maddie. Backwoods Mindset. It's going to be his co-host tonight. So
I'll tell you what, I'm going to drop off, let you say your good nights and everything. Good night, everybody.
Elaine, thank you so much for coming in here. And I know we'll talk soon, but I appreciate you. And Pooch wants a cookbook.
Okay.
Everybody else, remember that. Go check out Elaine. Go let her know y'all need a cookbook.
Not
Bye,
everybody.
Elaine. Thank you, ma'am. But yes, we need to get ready to bounce out of here for MT Homestead, which is coming up next. And I appreciate all you folks that were in here with me tonight. Pretty voice wasn't there for her to be in here with me. It's quite okay because she needs her voice later on. But Pretty will be with Brian at the Vineyard Farmhouse next week, the 21st, as his co-host. So y'all be sure and go tune in on that one as well. But I've enjoyed it. I've missed my baby, but Pooch is all right. And I do appreciate Elaine. Welcome to my kitchen coming in. I appreciate all you folks for tuning in and coming in. But be sure and go see MT Homestead next. Let them know Pooch sent you. Everybody needs a friend named Pooch, and they call me Pooch. So you folks have a rest of a good night, and we'll see y'all again soon. Yes, sir.